Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something nobody cares. Nobody cares about your excuses. Nobody cares about your struggles. Nobody cares about the pain you've endured. At least not in the way you're hoping they might. But here's the beauty of it. It doesn't matter. Life is not about waiting for someone to come along and save you. It's not about expecting the world to recognize your greatness or validate your dreams. The truth is, if you want something, you have to make it happen. If you're waiting for the applause, the encouragement, or the perfect moment, you're wasting precious time. You are the architect of your own success. The world owes you nothing, but you owe yourself everything. The truth is, most people are absorbed in their own lives. They are preoccupied with their own challenges, goals, and concerns, often leaving little space to notice or fully appreciate the efforts of others. This is not necessarily an indictment of humanity, but rather a reflection of its complexity. Each person's attention is limited, divided among countless responsibilities and distractions. This makes it inevitable that even the most earnest efforts sometimes go unnoticed. The pace of modern life amplifies this sense of indifference. In a world driven by speed and efficiency, people are conditioned to prioritize what directly affects them or what demands their immediate attention. Achievements, no matter how significant, are often fleeting in the collective memory. Social media, for instance, highlights how quickly milestones or tragedies are replaced by the next trending topic. It's easy to feel like an afterthought in such a fast-moving stream of information and interaction. The prevalence of indifference is not just a product of external factors, it also stems from human nature itself. People tend to prioritize what they feel emotionally connected to or what directly benefits them. Acts of kindness, hard work, or creativity, while noble, may not always resonate with others in the same way they do with us. This discrepancy between what we give and what others notice can lead to feelings of frustration or even disillusionment. At its core, indifference serves as a reminder that we cannot control how others respond to our efforts. We might wish for appreciation or recognition, but the reality is that these responses are often beyond our influence. This doesn't mean that our efforts are meaningless or that the contributions we make are insignificant. On the contrary, it underscores the importance of finding intrinsic motivation doing what we do because we believe in it, not because we expect others to notice. Recognizing the inevitability of indifference can also help us manage our expectations. By understanding that the world doesn't revolve around us or our contributions, we can focus less on seeking external validation and more on cultivating a sense of purpose that comes from within. This shift in perspective allows us to navigate challenges with resilience and to find fulfillment in the act of doing rather than in the reactions of others. Another dimension to this reality is that indifference can sometimes be a defense mechanism for others. People may shy away from engaging with someone else's struggles or achievements because it forces them to confront their own vulnerabilities or inadequacies. For instance, someone may avoid acknowledging another person's success because it reminds them of their own unmet goals. This is not a reflection of your worth, but rather an indication of their own inner conflicts. While indifference can feel isolating, it is also a shared experience. Everyone at some point in their lives has felt overlooked or unappreciated. This universal aspect of human life can serve as a bridge, fostering empathy and understanding. By recognizing that others may feel the same way, we can approach our interactions with more kindness and patience, knowing that even small gestures of acknowledgement can have a profound impact. Indifference, though challenging, also has its own lessons to teach. It reminds us of the transient nature of external validation and pushes us to seek deeper, more enduring sources of meaning. It teaches us to be self-reliant, to trust in our own instincts and convictions, and to find joy in the process rather than the outcome. By accepting indifference as a natural part of life, we can free ourselves from the constant need for recognition and instead focus on what truly matters to us. Ultimately, the prevalence of indifference is not a reflection of our value or the worth of what we do. It is a reality that exists independent of our efforts. By understanding and embracing this truth, we can shift our energy from seeking acknowledgement to pursuing authenticity, purpose, and fulfillment in our actions. This shift not only strengthens us, but also helps us connect with others in more meaningful ways as we begin to see beyond their indifference and recognize the shared humanity that unites us all. Nearly of our actions lies not in the recognition they receive, but in their intrinsic value. This truth is both profound and liberating, though it can be difficult to accept in a world that often places a premium on external validation. The drive to seek acknowledgement, whether through applause, rewards, or simple words of appreciation, is deeply ingrained in human nature. However, when we begin to understand that the worth of what we do is inherent and not dependent on others' opinions or reactions, we unlock a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment. actions hold intrinsic value because they reflect who we are, what we believe in, and what we aspire to accomplish. They are the physical manifestation of our intentions, our principles, and our humanity. Whether it is a small act of kindness, a bold creative endeavor, or a tireless pursuit of a dream, the true meaning of these actions lies within us, not in how others perceive or respond to them. This understanding shifts the focus from the outcome to the process, from the external to the internal. Consider, for instance, the person who devotes their time to helping others in need, even when their efforts go unnoticed. They may never receive public acknowledgement or gratitude, but the value of their actions remains undeniable. The impact of their kindness is real, whether or not it is widely recognized. It exists in the lives they touch, the hope they inspire, and the personal growth they experience in the process. The absence of applause does not diminish the worth of what they do. It merely removes the distraction of seeking external approval. When we attach value to external validation, we make ourselves vulnerable to disappointment and insecurity. A life guided by the pursuit of recognition is often fraught with frustration because external acknowledgement is fickle, inconsistent, and beyond our control. People may overlook our efforts, misunderstand our intentions, or simply fail to care. If our sense of worth is tied to their reactions, we risk losing sight of why we acted in the first place. Intrinsic value, on the other hand, provides a stable foundation. It is unshaken by the indifference or fleeting attention of others. Intrinsic value allows us to maintain integrity and authenticity. When our actions are driven by a genuine sense of purpose rather than the desire for approval, we are more likely to stay true to our principles. This authenticity is what gives our efforts their true worth, even if the world fails to notice. It ensures that we act not because we want to be seen or praised, but because we believe in what we are doing. The concept of intrinsic value also applies to personal growth and self-improvement. Take the example of someone learning a new skill, such as playing a musical instrument or mastering a craft. The initial stages of their journey may be riddled with mistakes and setbacks. There may be no audience to cheer them on, no accolades to mark their progress. Yet every note they play, every attempt they make is valuable because it represents growth, perseverance, and the pursuit of something meaningful. The worth of their effort is not determined by how many people recognize it, but by the personal transformation it fosters. This principle extends to all aspects of life. In our relationships, for instance, the love and care we give are valuable in themselves, regardless of whether they are reciprocated in the way we expect. The act of giving, of being kind, supportive, or understanding is a reflection of our character and values. It is a testament to the person we choose to be, and that choice carries inherent worth. It is important to recognize that intrinsic value does not diminish the importance of impact. The positive outcomes of our actions, whether in the form of helping others, creating something beautiful, or driving change, are undeniably significant. However, the absence of immediate recognition or visible results does not negate the value of what we do. Sometimes the effects of our actions are subtle, delayed, or unseen. Yet they still matter because they contribute to the larger tapestry of life in ways we may not fully understand. Living with an awareness of intrinsic value requires a shift in perspective. It means learning to measure success not by the applause we receive, but by the alignment of our actions with our values and aspirations. It means finding fulfillment in the journey rather than the destination. It means embracing the quiet satisfaction of knowing we did what we believed was right, regardless of whether anyone else noticed. And understanding and embracing the intrinsic value of our actions is a path to freedom. It liberates us from the constant need for external validation and allows us to act with authenticity, courage, and purpose. It reminds us that our worth is not something to be granted by others, but something we carry within ourselves. This understanding empowers us to live more meaningful and self-assured lives, grounded in the knowledge that what we do matters, simply because we choose to do it. Throughout history, countless individuals have contributed significantly to society without ever receiving the recognition they deserved. These unsung heroes often work in the shadows, far removed from the spotlight, driven by a sense of duty, passion, or purpose rather than a desire for applause. Their stories remind us that true value lies not in fame or acknowledgement, but in the quiet, often unnoticed efforts that shape our world in profound ways. These unsung heroes can be found in every corner of society, from the mother who sacrifices her own dreams to ensure her children have better opportunities to the teacher who spends extra hours helping struggling students without expecting gratitude. They are the healthcare workers who care for patients during times of crisis, the community leaders who rally to solve local problems, and the innovators whose ideas revolutionize industries long after their names are forgotten. Their contributions are essential, even if their names never make it into history books. One of the reasons these individuals remain unsung is the nature of human attention. Society tends to celebrate visible achievements and those who stand at the forefront of major events, often overlooking the many who work behind the scenes. A revolutionary leader may be remembered for their speeches and victories, but the countless people who supported their cause, logistics coordinators, silent protesters, financial backers, often fade into obscurity. Yet without these individuals, the leader's success would have been impossible. Take, for instance, the building of iconic structures such as the pyramids of Egypt or modern architectural marvels. While the names of a few architects or rulers are etched in history, the laborers who spent years toiling in harsh conditions are largely forgotten. However, the legacy of their work lives on in the awe these monuments inspire. The same principle applies to scientific advancements. Figures like Isaac Newton and Marie Curie are rightly celebrated, but behind every breakthrough lies the collaborative work of assistants, technicians, and peers who rarely receive the credit they deserve. This phenomenon is not limited to historical contexts, it persists in modern life as well. In the corporate world, for example, it is often the executives and public-facing leaders who receive accolades for a company's success, while the employees working long hours behind the scenes remain anonymous. Similarly, in creative industries, audiences celebrate actors, musicians, and directors while paying little attention to the writers, technicians, and editors who bring their visions to life. Despite this imbalance, the contributions of these lesser-known individuals are no less valuable. What makes these unsung heroes remarkable is their motivation. They act not for recognition, but because they believe in the importance of their work. This sense of purpose often comes from a deep commitment to their values, their communities, or their loved ones. It reflects a kind of quiet strength and understanding that the worth of their actions is not diminished by a lack of acknowledgement. In fact, their humility often enhances the impact of their work, as they focus fully on the task at hand rather than on the pursuit of credit. The stories of these individuals also teach us about resilience and perseverance. They remind us that meaningful contributions often require patience, sacrifice, and a willingness to endure challenges without immediate rewards. For every groundbreaking discovery or cultural milestone, there are countless untold stories of setbacks, trial and error, and tireless effort. The courage to persist in the face of obscurity is what defines these unsung heroes and makes their contributions so extraordinary. Their example also challenges the rest of us to reconsider how we measure success and value. In a world that often equates worth with visibility, the lives of unsung heroes reveal the profound importance of work that is quiet, steady, and selfless. It reminds us to look beyond the surface and appreciate the many people whose efforts make our lives and achievements possible. This perspective fosters gratitude and a deeper understanding of the interconnectedness of human endeavors. These individuals highlight the power of small, consistent actions to create lasting change. Not every contribution needs to be revolutionary to be significant. The ripple effect of seemingly minor acts such as mentoring a child, cleaning a neighborhood park, or offering a kind word to someone in distress can lead to outcomes far greater than we might imagine. Unsung heroes understand this, which is why they persist in their efforts, even when the results are not immediately visible. Recognizing the role of unsung heroes does not mean everyone must seek to become one. Rather, it invites us to value their contributions and perhaps embody some of their qualities. By embracing the spirit of selflessness and focusing on the intrinsic value of our actions, we can find fulfillment in knowing that what we do matters, even if it goes unnoticed by others. Their stories inspire us to live with purpose, resilience, and humility, contributing to a better world in ways both big and small. The legacy of unsung heroes is a testament to the enduring power of quiet effort. Their lives remind us that the most significant contributions are often those made without fanfare. They show us that greatness does not require a stage, and that true impact is measured not by recognition, but by the positive difference made in the lives of others. In their example, we find a profound lesson about what it means to live with integrity, dedication, and a commitment to something greater than oneself. When no one seems to care about what we do, it can be a source of frustration or sadness. Yet within this experience of indifference lies an unexpected gift of liberation from external expectations. When the spotlight is absent and no one is watching, the stage is ours to create and define freely. This freedom allows us to act authentically, to explore without fear, and to align our efforts with our true values rather than conforming to the pressures of societal approval. Indifference from others removes the weight of judgment. In a world so often preoccupied with appearances, we are constantly measured against standards set by other standards that can stifle creativity and personal growth. When we realize that no one is paying close attention, we are free to let go of those constraints and pursue what truly matters to us. Without the constant gaze of others, we can take risks, make mistakes, and try new things without fear of criticism or failure. This space to experiment is where genuine growth and innovation thrive. Consider the many breakthroughs in art, science, and innovation that were born in solitude, away from public scrutiny. Great works often begin as private explorations, free from the pressures of external validation. When individuals are left alone with their thoughts, they are able to focus on the work itself, untethered by the need to please others or fit into predefined molds. This kind of focus often leads to deeper, more meaningful outcomes because the motivation comes from within rather than from the desire to be noticed or praised. The liberation that comes with indifference also allows us to reframe how we measure success. Without external expectations, success is no longer about meeting someone else's standards, but about achieving personal goals and fulfilling our own sense of purpose. This shift in perspective encourages us to ask important questions. What do I truly care about? What makes me feel alive? What impact do I want to have on the world? These questions help us discover what is most meaningful to us, guiding us toward a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. Indifference creates opportunities for self-reliance and resilience. When we are not relying on external validation to fuel our motivation, we learn to find strength within ourselves. This inner strength becomes a powerful force, enabling us to persist in the face of challenges and to stay committed to our goals, even when recognition or encouragement is absent. It teaches us to trust our instincts and believe in our abilities, cultivating a sense of independence that is invaluable in navigating life's uncertainties. Indifference also provides clarity. In the absence of an audience, we are better able to distinguish between what we do for others and what we do for ourselves. It forces us to confront our motivations and to determine whether our actions are aligned with our true values or merely performed to gain approval. This self-awareness allows us to let go of pursuits that do not resonate with us and to focus instead on what brings us genuine satisfaction and fulfillment. Indifference offers the opportunity to connect more deeply with the intrinsic joy of our work. When we are no longer seeking validation, we can immerse ourselves fully in the process, finding satisfaction in the act of creating, building, or helping rather than in the results. This mindset not only enhances our enjoyment, but also improves the quality of our efforts because we are driven by passion and purpose rather than external pressures. It is important to recognize that the absence of attention from others does not mean that our efforts are without impact. Often, the most meaningful contributions are those made quietly, without fanfare. The teacher who inspires a struggling student, the caregiver who provides comfort to someone in need, or the innovator who lays the groundwork for future discoveries. These acts of quiet dedication may not be widely noticed, but their effects are profound and lasting. Indifference, then, is not an indicator of insignificance, but a reminder that impact is not always accompanied by recognition. When we embrace the freedom that comes with indifference, we also create a foundation for resilience. Life is unpredictable, and there will inevitably be times when we face criticism, rejection, or a lack of support. By learning to operate without the need for validation, we become better equipped to navigate these challenges with grace and confidence. We understand that our worth is not determined by others' opinions, and we are less likely to be swayed by external negativity. The lack of attention from others gives us a rare and valuable opportunity, the chance to act purely for the sake of what matters to us. In this space, we can find clarity, authenticity, and joy in our pursuits. We can take ownership of our lives, define our own measures of success, and live in alignment with our values. It is here, in the quiet freedom of indifference, that we discover the truest and most fulfilling expressions of ourselves. And facing indifference from others can be disheartening, but it holds within it the potential to cultivate a powerful inner strength, resilience. Resilience is the ability to persevere in the face of challenges, setbacks, and a lack of external encouragement. When no one seems to notice or care about our efforts, we are given the opportunity to develop an enduring belief in ourselves and our purpose. This belief becomes the driving force that carries us forward, even when recognition or support is absent. One of the key aspects of resilience is learning to persist, despite the absence of validation. In a world that often equates worth with acknowledgement, the lack of recognition can feel like a failure. However, resilience teaches us that our value is not tied to how others perceive us. It reminds us that our actions and goals are meaningful simply because they align with our own principles and aspirations. By continuing to move forward, even when no one seems to care, we affirm to ourselves that our efforts are worthwhile, independent of external approval. Resilience also involves the ability to adapt and grow in the face of indifference. When others do not immediately respond to our work or ideas, it can be tempting to give up or feel defeated. However, these moments of silence can serve as valuable opportunities for self-reflection and improvement. They push us to reassess our methods, refine our approach, and strengthen our resolve. Each step we take in the absence of external encouragement builds a foundation of self-reliance, enabling us to face future challenges with greater confidence and determination. Indifference often forces us to confront and overcome our fears. One of the most common fears is the fear of failure, which is often linked to the fear of being judged or criticized. When no one is paying attention, the pressure to perform perfectly is diminished, allowing us to take risks and experiment without the fear of public scrutiny. This freedom to explore and make mistakes is an essential part of personal and professional growth. It helps us build resilience by teaching us that failure is not the end, but rather a step towards success. Another important aspect of resilience is maintaining a long-term perspective. In moments when our efforts feel invisible, it is easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. However, resilience teaches us to focus on the broader impact of our actions rather than immediate results. Many of the most meaningful achievements in life take time to materialize and may not be recognized until long after they are completed. By staying committed to our vision and goals, even when progress feels slow or unacknowledged, we cultivate the patience and perseverance necessary for lasting success. Resilience also allows us to find meaning and satisfaction in the journey itself. When we are no longer fixated on the destination or the applause waiting at the end, we can appreciate the process of learning, growing, and creating. This shift in focus helps us stay motivated, even in the face of indifference. It reminds us that the true reward of our efforts is not external validation, but the sense of fulfillment that comes from pursuing something we care about deeply. The development of resilience also strengthens our ability to inspire and lead others. People are naturally drawn to those who demonstrate perseverance and determination, especially in challenging circumstances. By showing that we can continue to work toward our goals despite a lack of recognition, we set an example for others to follow. Our resilience becomes a source of inspiration, encouraging those around us to find strength in their own journeys and to persist in the face of adversity. Indifference, while challenging, can also serve as a test of our authenticity and commitment. It asks us to examine why we are pursuing our goals and whether our motivations are driven by genuine passion or a desire for external validation. Resilience emerges when we reaffirm our commitment to our goals, not because of what others may think or say, but because of what those goals mean to us personally. This sense of purpose is what sustains us during difficult times and helps us navigate the uncertainties of life with confidence and grace. Resilience also teaches us to embrace the power of small, consistent actions. When progress feels slow and unnoticed, it can be tempting to abandon our efforts in search of quicker results. However, resilience reminds us that even the smallest steps forward contribute to our growth and success over time. It encourages us to remain steadfast in our efforts, knowing that every action we take, no matter how small, brings us closer to our goals. Resilience in the face of indifference is not just about enduring challenges, it is about transforming them into opportunities for growth, learning, and self-discovery. By continuing to strive toward our goals, even when no one seems to care, we develop a profound inner strength that allows us to thrive in any circumstance. This resilience becomes a defining quality, empowering us to live authentically, pursue our dreams with unwavering determination, and find fulfillment in the journey itself. Understanding that our efforts can matter even when no one notices is a powerful realization. It shifts our focus from seeking recognition to appreciating the intrinsic impact of what we do. This mindset encourages us to recognize the ripple effects of our actions, even if they remain invisible to us. Often, the smallest gestures or contributions can have profound and lasting effects, touching lives in ways we may never fully understand. The impact of our actions is not always immediate or visible. Sometimes the seeds we plant take time to grow, and their effects may emerge long after we are gone. For instance, consider the teacher who inspires a struggling student to believe in their potential. The teacher may never witness the long-term success of that student, but the influence of their encouragement can shape the student's future in remarkable ways. Such moments remind us that the value of our actions lies not in their visibility, but in their ability to create meaningful change, even if we are not there to see it. This principle applies to countless scenarios in life. A kind word spoken to a stranger might lift their spirits on a difficult day. A small donation to a cause might enable significant progress in someone's life. A piece of art or writing shared without fanfare might resonate deeply with someone, offering comfort or inspiration. These acts may go unacknowledged, but their impact is real and significant. They demonstrate that the measure of our contributions is not the attention they receive, but the difference they make in the lives of others. The ripple effects of our actions often extend far beyond what we can observe. A single act of kindness, for example, can inspire a chain reaction. When we show compassion to someone, they may in turn pass that kindness on to others. This cascading effect creates a network of positive influence, all stemming from one seemingly small gesture. The beauty of these ripples is that they operate independently of recognition. Whether or not we are aware of them, our actions have the power to create waves of change. Our work and efforts also have a cumulative impact, even if individual instances feel insignificant. Consider the artist who spends years honing their craft, producing work that might initially go unnoticed. Over time, the body of work they create contributes to a larger narrative, inspiring others or leaving a legacy that endures. Similarly, the environmentalists planting trees may not live to see the full-grown forest, but their actions contribute to a healthier planet for future generations. These examples illustrate that even when our efforts seem small or unrecognized, they build towards something greater. Embracing this perspective requires us to trust in the unseen impact of our actions. It means believing that what we do matters, even if we don't receive immediate feedback or validation. This trust is an act of faith in the interconnectedness of life. It acknowledges that our efforts contribute to a larger tapestry of human experience, where every thread, no matter how small, plays a vital role. By focusing on the intrinsic value of our actions, we free ourselves from the need for constant reassurance and allow ourselves to act with integrity and purpose. Another important aspect of understanding unseen impact is recognizing the importance of intention. When we act with genuine care and authenticity, our efforts carry a weight that goes beyond immediate outcomes. A heartfelt apology, an act of forgiveness, or a gesture of generosity may not always be acknowledged, but the intention behind these actions resonates deeply. It creates an energy of goodwill and positivity that can influence others in ways we may never fully comprehend. Unseen impact often underscores the interconnected nature of our world. Our lives are intertwined in ways that are both intricate and profound. A decision we make today might affect someone halfway across the globe or decades into the future. This understanding can inspire us to act thoughtfully and responsibly, knowing that our choices have the potential to shape lives beyond our immediate circle. It reminds us that we are part of a larger ecosystem of human actions, each contributing to the greater whole. Unseen impact also challenges us to redefine success. In a society that often equates success with visibility and applause, it is easy to feel that our efforts are futile if they go unnoticed. However, when we understand the ripple effects of our actions, we realize that success is not about being seen, but about making a meaningful difference. This shift in perspective allows us to find fulfillment in the quiet, steady contributions we make to the world around us. Embracing the idea of unseen impact helps us stay motivated and resilient. When we face moments of doubt or feel that our efforts are unappreciated, this understanding reminds us that our work has value, even if it is not immediately evident. It encourages us to keep going, to trust that what we do matters, and to believe that our actions can create positive change in ways we may never fully know. The knowledge that our efforts matter even when no one notices empowers us to live with purpose and authenticity. It reinforces the idea that every action, no matter how small, has the potential to contribute to the well-being of others and to the greater good. This understanding inspires us to act not for recognition, but for the intrinsic value of doing what is right and meaningful, trusting in the unseen impact of our contributions. In a world where recognition often seems paramount, the quiet power of unnoticed efforts reminds us that true value lies in purpose, authenticity, and impact. Even when no one cares or notices, our actions ripple outward, shaping lives and leaving lasting legacies. It is not applause, but integrity and the quiet strength of persistence that define a meaningful life. Let us find fulfillment in the unseen, trusting that every effort matters in ways beyond what we can measure or see.